Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
And 15 PCA.
Native 454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. So we're up to episode 10 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and just another meh episode. I've never said that any of these episodes are fillers because something always happens to move the plot forward a little bit. But I just realized there's so much filler in the episode itself where the characters are basically doing nothing or just acting silly just to waste time. But in this one's, it has a lot of those moments. And we have Glimmer, who literally was acting like a child during Princess Prom. And she continues to act like a little child. Not someone who was appointed a commander in an army, but a little kid. Not even a teenager, a little kid. So we open up and everyone's feeling bummed because Entrapta, quote unquote, died. Yeah, right. And they're all feeling bad and they're all blaming themselves. And then they come to the dumbest conclusion ever. Mermista's like, the reason why this failed is because we were together. No, that's the reason why you're alive. Is because you were together. If you guys would have acted, seriously, if you would have took the mission with, any type of competence, that's what went wrong. Not because you were working together as a team. It is, how did he come to this conclusion? It makes no sense for any of them to feel that way. So she orders Seok, my bags, take me home. So I guess, and this is this would be the most awkward road trip ever because they're on this skiff. I have no idea how close any of these things are. So they have to fly her or whatever in this little skiff thing all the way to her place where no one's talking to each other. The most awkward silence ever. There's not even a freaking radio. So then they have to drop. And so they basically drop off all the princes and everyone gives up because they think working together as a team is the reason why Entrapta died. Well, Entrapta set herself up to die. She ran after a stupid machine that doesn't have any type of life. You can just build another stupid robot and got herself killed. She didn't get herself killed, but to the best of their knowledge, and it was nothing to do with your teamwork or anything. She literally just ran away from the group. Were we supposed to tie her up to make sure she didn't run back? It's the dumbest thing ever. So everyone's basically everything's falling apart. Then everyone goes back to their own little kingdoms. Mermista puts up her little seawall. I thought this was a little bit nice. Perfuma made a little garden sculpture plant thing for Entrapta as a thing she lived. I wonder if there was an inscription at the bottom or anything, but basically a little hero statue. And she feels bad. Then we cut to the Frostia, is that her name? The little ice girl, and she has no knowledge of anything that happened. So I don't know why they're even showing her. And in the most ridiculously silly way, she puts all these little ice shards to protect her kingdom. And she does it effortlessly. This is to protect a whole entire castle kingdom thing. What is these? Hundreds of thousands of, tons and tons and tons of ice that she's able to just move with no problem. How insanely strong is this chick? Then we get back to Bright Moon and they're making up the Rockway. And, the queen is oh my God, my daughter, you've been kidnapped. And of course she misses her and she wants to know, is everything okay? And then Glimmer's just being this little bratty little idiot. Oh, Mom, I'm okay. You were kidnapped and tortured. You probably have some type of PTSD. You went through a traumatic experience, but she just keeps acting like a little child. And of course, her mom's trying to be, nice and everything. And they do the squish face thing again because they always got to do that. And she even notices, hey, wait a minute. You're so damn lazy. You're always teleporting everywhere. How come you're not teleporting? And she's like, I just don't feel so good. I just need to recharge or whatever. It's really funny when your mom realizes how lazy you are. That's just really funny. She's all I just got to recharge. Leave me alone, Mom. She's just treating her mom like crap. Everyone else knows. Adora and Bo know that there's something wrong with her because she can't teleport anymore. Every time she tries to, she gets that from the it was Black Garnet, Garnet from Steven Universe trapped her powers. No, but Shadow Weaver did to her, it affected her magical ability, so she can't teleport. I wonder if she can make her little glimmer bombs. She never tried that. She just tried teleporting and it doesn't work. Mom's concerned. She's like trying to help her out, and she's just Glimmer's being a little whiny little bitch. It makes no sense. And then Mom wants to know, okay, what happened? And she doesn't want to tell Mom, nothing happened, Mom. Don't worry about it. And even the Queen's like, what do you mean nothing happened? A princess got killed. You guys, you look all beat up and damaged, and where's everyone else? And you're saying the alliance is falling apart. Obviously something did happen, but she's just like hiding it from her mom for like no reason. It doesn't make any damn sense that you would hide this from your mom. And just on a side note, wouldn't there be some type of debrief? I can understand since Glimmer went through a traumatic experience, she wouldn't be a part of that, but wouldn't Adora have to like give a field report or something? This is what happened, Majesty, X, Y, and Z. We lost one of the princesses. It happened in this room, and nothing. They literally hide everything from the Queen. This is like a storyline that would be in a family sitcom where the daughter borrowed the grandma's necklace without asking, and then she ended up losing it. So she's trying to hide the fact that she did something her mom didn't want her to do, and then at the end they all hug. That makes sense for that type of show, not for a action adventure show where someone actually freaking died. Stop acting like a kid, Glimmer. You're an idiot. So we cut back to the Fright Zone, and we get Hordak basically giving Shadow Weaver the business. He's like, what the F? You knew that Adora was She-Ra. You lost the princess. We were attacked, and you didn't share any information with me. And of course, Shadow Weaver's like, oh, that's why I thought it was so important to bring her back to me. And even Hordak's like, you gotta be kidding me, Shadow Weaver. Why didn't you tell me this information? Of course, Catra is like loving it because, she's getting scolded the same way that she would always scold me. And remember when we thought Entraptra died all for 4 minutes? We see her in one of the air ducts, thus undercutting any type of emotional feelings that you had for this character dying. They just say, nope, no, she didn't really die. Wouldn't it have been nice if we didn't see her for a couple of episodes, or at least not until the end of this episode or something? So let's let that tension, that sadness, that drama build. No, they completely undercut themselves by showing her off that she's still alive in the air ducts. Then we cut back to the Feel Good crew, and Bo's just a freaking... He makes these worried faces all the time, and he's always concerned for everything. It's just, he's so pathetic. We get Glimmer's trying to do her little recharge on the table, and Adora's pissed off, so she's like, kind of doing weird training things, like kicking the air and stuff. And Glimmer's like, oh, I feel better now. Watch me. I can do my teleport. She can't do it. Things are worse. Bo makes a stupid face. And the mom's coming in, and they're like, oh, don't say anything with it. Again, hiding things from your parents. And of course they make this stupid, I don't know, is this a really dumb version of freaking Breakfast Club? The mom comes in, she's just trying to be a mom and talk to her daughter, and she just keeps like pushing her away and everything. Glimmer is an awful, awful character. You're literally a bad person, you're a bad daughter, and you're a horrible commander. Get back to Catra and Scissor Punch here, and they're like, she's gloating. Oh yeah, did you see the look on her face? But even she goes, well, you really can't see the look on her face because she has like the mask and everything. So it's just, it's just like a turn of phrase. And then just that little spider bot that Entraptra make is like following them, and they keep kind of noticing it. And then Catra does this whole little sniffy the air thing. Something she's never done before, but it's like a cat thing. She even has like her hands like pulled in, like, the little pit paw, kitty thing. It's really weird because she's done cat-like agility things, but to literally act like a cat, it's kind of like a house cat. It's kind of weird and stupid. So she's like sniffing around and crawling around, and we get Entraptra. Then she pops out of one of the air vents. Oh, hello guys. And of course she's being silly and dumb because that's who she is. Completely, utterly destroyed. Even something that was supposed to be a little bit of a drama, they completely throw it out the window for, I don't know, just they think the audience is too stupid, or they didn't want them to worry about the character. But come on, they really, really should have saved her reveal still being alive till like later. It would have made it so much stronger. But we get back to Bo cleaning Glimmer's room again because her freaking maid. It's ridiculous. Are they making some type of statement about since he's black, he has to be, this girl's maid? Is that what Noel Stevenson was going for? Because that's what it seems like. Then Adora's like, saying the reason why we lost is because we don't train enough, which is kind of true. If you would have trained as a team, maybe things would have went so freaking sideways. So she's like punching the air and like acting like a dummy. Glimmer, and I brought this up in a lot, the episode where Adora was sleeping in Glimmer's bed because she didn't want to sleep alone. And she was like, oh my goodness, my bed's way up there. And there's no way to get up there because she teleports everywhere. So how did Adora get up there? So it's just, I don't know, it's the continuity thing. And here, and she's like, Bo, give me a boost. So they're like doing a bunch of silly things to get up there. And look, the only picture of Bo being between a girl's legs that's ever going to happen. So Adora's like doing little training things, like stabbing the air, and in the background they keep trying to get her up in her bed, and she's falling, trying to jump up there. Bo's trying to lift her up. They're getting in a chair. She's falling over. It's just a bunch of silly gags. It's a Three Stooges routine. It's something where they feel bad that one of their teammates died. She's can't use her power, so she knows she's sick or poisoned or something, and they just keep doing silly Billy stuff. Really dumb. Then Bo's constantly always like, oh, I don't know, guys, you can't get this done. And then they kind of come up with the idea of like, oh, She-Ra healed that tree. And then Bo's like, no, you didn't. Well, yeah, she did. And she's like, oh, I healed that magic seawall from Mermista. And you know, that's nothing. Maybe I can heal you. Not a bad idea. Just she doesn't even know how her powers work or how her healing actually works. So that's what they're going to try. And again, they keep skipping the She-Ra transformation scene. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just, I don't know, just like, who cares? We're not going to show it anymore. Just a flash of light, off screen, she's She-Ra. We cut back to Entraptress being tied to the wall, like things are getting kinky in the Fright Zone, and Hordak has tasked Catra to be like her interrogator, so they're going to torture her to get her information out of her. And other people have brought this up. Catra's tail looks like it's coming out of her butt, which it should be coming out of her spine, but that's because these animators and artists don't know what the hell they're doing. So it literally looks like she's pooping her tail out, which is kind of ridiculous. Entraptress just being a weirdo. She's all tied up and just, Catra's like threatening her with one of those like stun blaster things. She's like, oh wow, what's this? Oh, can I keep it? Oh, how does it work? And she's just being a weirdo. And she can get her hair out of the restraints and everything, and they're not even like concerned about it. So they keep kind of threatening her. Oh, you better tell us everything about the Princess, Alliance and everything. And Entraptress is like, oh, I'll just answer anything you want. And let me help you out. And she's like interested in Scissor Punch's tail. Do you have, is that a neurotoxin? And, can I have some of it? She's just constantly being a weirdo. And Catra starts thinking, hey, you were left behind. And Entraptress is like, no, they're coming back for me. And she's like, oh, no, they're not. They abandoned you. Because they think you're weird. And, basically just kind of using manipulation tactics. But even then, in Chapter, you're a smart person. You're a little eclectic and weird, but you're smart. You're intelligent. They know that those rooms got purged with like this fire blast. Maybe they thought you actually died. Maybe there was no time to come back for you because they would end up like, jeopardizing the whole mission. You got to think about it in the Chapter. You got to really think about it. And, for the other side, I know that they were in a rush, but they really could have tried to at least go back to that door and like look in there and see if her body was like incinerated or whatever. Why didn't she try to contact it? It's just really a really dumb setup to get her to, get on Catra's side. Catra's always touching people. I don't like that. She's like twirling her hair in her fingers and everything, and basically gets her to feel bad, like, oh, they left you behind, and that doesn't happen here in the Horde. We love everyone. Look how basically saying, look how different we are, and we accept everybody. And your friends left you behind, and they don't like you. And they're like, oh, look, everything you could do. I even alluded to this fact when we first met her, that she looks like someone that would turn on anyone as long as they offered her technology, offered her like a science lab or something like that. And she basically takes the bait. Oh, give me all this stuff, and I can know the things I can make. Even though they would be used to kill innocent people, she doesn't give a flying crap. Then she mentions that she built... What's the name of the robot? She gave the name of the robot. Is it like Elizabeth or something? I don't know. Or Kimberly? I don't know. I can't remember. But you didn't make that robot. You just hacked the robot that was already made, and then you kind of upgraded it. I'm going to steal someone's car, add a turbocharger, and then tell everyone I made that car. No, you didn't make anything. You freaking stole it. So she like upgraded its weapons and everything, and it like blows a hole through the wall. And oh, look how strong I am. Then we cut back to She-Ra trying to heal Glimmer. And then these scenes go on forever. So she's like trying to like activate the healing. Oh, go healing, heal time, doing all these like weird things where none of it's working. And Bo, even though he's being a pansy, he's like being sensible. Maybe you should be pointing swords and stuff at, your friends, you could do an energy blast and actually hurt somebody. But she's trying to do this thing to heal her, and the sword starts to glow. And she's like, oh, I think it's working. Tries to teleport, doesn't work. So what was the sword glowing for? Like, was it doing anything? And like a frustrated moron, Shira just throws her sword at the wall. Like, what if it would have just like blew through the wall? Like, you're insanely strong. It's not okay to when you get frustrated and upset to like destroy things and break things, but it's okay for Shira to do it, to just be this angry person. Cut back to the interrogation, which really isn't an interrogation. It's like just a conversation. And Scissor Punch is rebuilding that wall that she blew a hole in. Like, she's like putting all the bricks back in, and the bricks keep popping out. And that's like a little gag that keeps happening during this whole conversation. So Catra's talking to Entraptra, and she's just being weird and everything, and she keeps getting out of the restraints. Forget the restraints. They're not working. You can just sit at a table, and just talk to her. It's really, really dumb. And, the wall keeps falling apart, and the one brick keeps sleeping out, and she keeps trying to put it back in, and keeps falling out, and okay, one or two times, stop with the stupid gags. Entraptra brings up the whole first one's tech, the technology she's been working on, and Catra's like, well, first what? What's that? So she has literally no idea about any of this stuff. Don't know if the Horde knows about it, but Catra doesn't know about it. Then she's explaining to her, oh yeah, there's this technology, it's super powerful, and I know about a whole bunch of it somewhere, and it's in those woods where they found the sword in the beginning. And Catra's like, oh yeah, if I can find this stuff and I can bring it back, and you can make some really cool stuff with it, like these really big weapons. And of course, Entraptra's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let me make weapons for the people killing everybody. That's real nice. Gives her Game Boy, and it's like a tracker thing to help her get to, where that energy signal comes from. So Catra's like, okay, I don't really trust her, but I'm going to go look for this, and if it's real, and I'll bring it back, and then, we can have this huge weapon for the Horde. We're going to be able to build so much more stuff because Entraptra promised to make weapons to kill people because she's an idiot. Then we cut back to Shira just being angry and like destroying things and breaking stuff. Is this the message we're sending to children? Oh, when you're frustrated, it's okay to destroy things. No, that's the wrong way to deal with your emotions. She's done this multiple times. She gets mad and frustrated. Like in the other episode, she ended up like knocking down a whole bunch of trees when she couldn't heal that tree for Perfuma. Stop doing it. Then Glimmer's mom knocks on the door saying, oh, she's trying to be a decent mom. She's worried about her daughter. She could tell she's hiding something, but she's trying to be nice about it. I'm inviting you to dinner or whatever. And then I found this strange. She doesn't want to go to dinner. You think she would be thrilled to eat again. But she's like, oh no, I don't want to eat. And she's like, no, how about this? I'm telling you to do it and freaking do it. Like, she's kind of being nice about it, but she basically says, I'm ordering you to come to dinner. Glimmer doesn't want to do it because she's going to start, they say glitching out. What are you, Vanellope Von Sweets? And she's going to notice, and it's going to worry my mom. Which is, yeah, something's wrong with you. You're hurt, you're sick, you're poisoned, there's something wrong with you. Get it fixed. You have a mom who's super powerful. You have an auntie who's like a super powerful sorceress. Maybe they can help you. No, let's just hide everything from her parents. I'm glad that's the message that she was putting out there. If you're hurt or sick or don't feel well, don't tell your parents. It's okay. Shira actually has a decent idea. She's like, I need to go train. I don't even know how to use my powers to do anything. And she's like, oh, I remember when I was with that Madame Raz, that character that should have been more in the story. She's like, I'm going to basically go train with her, or maybe she can help me learn my powers, because she kind of just does everything fly by wire. Like, how does she know her sword can shoot energy blasts? How does she know she can, when she made that shield, she doesn't even try to do it again. Like, she just lets things happen. Good idea. Go get some training. Go out in the woods, lift up some logs, go Rocky style, start running in the, punching sides of beef and everything. You got to train. You got to get better at this job because you kind of suck at it, Shira. Then she's like, oh, good. Maybe you can figure this all out in the next 30 minutes. And then she's like, no, this is going to take a while. And she just jumps out the window. Like, I'm going to go on my mission. Bye. Where's her horse? Where's Swiftwind? Wouldn't it have been cool for her to jump on her flying horse and go where she needs to go? But whatever. We go back to the Fright Zone, and Catra's like packing a backpack where she's going to go into the woods and everything. And, someone's actually bringing supplies on an adventure. They're not just going to walk there. Then Shadow Weaver's like, oh, where are you? Basically asking where she's going. And Catra's like I tell you, you freaking suck. She looks over at Shadow Weaver, and she looks pretty messed up. And Catra, even, you could tell she feels bad. Even though she hates her, she doesn't, when you see someone like in a distraught, looks like Hordak probably tortured her, probably drained some of her energy, smacked her around a bit. And she's like, well, you getting yelled at's not so bad, you'll get used to it. You've done it to me a lot. And they kind of almost have, in the way Shadow Weaver sees Adora as a daughter, like the daughter she liked, she sees Catra as like the daughter she didn't like. And she's like, I was so hard on you because I wanted you to be strong, which isn't a bad thing in itself. Like, you gotta help children grow up for, the world is going to be hard. It's not going to always be easy, but she went too far. She took it too far, like literally treating her like garbage. Maybe she would have treated her more like she treated Adora. She would have more of a ally on her side. But even Catra, she feels bad for her. Then she's like, oh yeah, congratulations, you did prepare me for the world. You don't need to help me anymore. So that was like the nicest conversation they ever had. Even though it's like a horrible, toxic relationship, that was the nicest they've ever been to each other. Then we get back to Glimmer and Bo. Does this window look like something? Maybe. I don't know. Are they trying to subliminal message me with something? But we get to the inside and Bo's just being a concerned little crybaby. And this is where we get everyone's taking responsibility for the dumbest reasons. Bo's sorry that he went to the dance with another girl. So he has to beg Glimmer for her forgiveness. It's all my fault. If I would have went to dance with you, then I would have been near you and if this happened. No, Adora was being a moron and being super distracted by Catra. All this stuff would have still happened. Then he says he's sorry. She says she's sorry. They're sorry that you're sorry. And I'm sorry that I'm watching these two people be sorry. And I'm sorry to you for having to watch me be sorry. For Bo being sorry that he's sorry that... It just goes on and on and on. Okay, we get it. Everyone's freaking sorry. It was no one's fault. Then, of course, they had to hug it out. And look at this screenshot. No context screenshot. Let this one fly around the internet for a while. Then... because she's trying to teleport and it's actually causing Bo pain, like being near him. It's actually causing him pain too, which is kind of odd. And then here you go. Here's another non-context screenshot for you. This one will be funny to work with. We cut to Adora in the woods and she's trying to figure out, okay, I remember being here and this is where Raz was showing me that weird... when Raz was climbing that pillar, it showed like I don't know if that was going to be like a cave or a temple or something. She's trying to find that place. And, she can't find anything. She's lost. So she marks one of the rocks with an X. And she does it, like, effortlessly. So this sword is crazy, insane, sharp. So all those other times that she was running around with the sword by the blade, yeah, it would have chopped her freaking hands off. We get to the dinner scene, the dinner that the queen set up for her so she can talk to her daughter. And she's just trying to be a decent mom. We haven't talked. You're not sharing things with me. You went through this traumatic experience, and yet you're just laughing it off. And then she sees her daughter, quote unquote, glitch, and she's like, "Oh my God, what's happening to you? What's going on?" She's like, "Oh, Shadow Weaver did something to me," and she kind of lets everything out, but not in a mature kind of way, but more in a little kid kind of way where she's just yelling everything. Oh, someone died, and I ruined the mission, and I mess everything up, and well, you do, and this is what you do. You make mistakes. You reflect on those mistakes and you do better next time. But no, you got to wallow and act like a little kid the whole time. Then, of course, this is feeling sharing time. She says, I got someone killed on our mission and it's all my fault and you wouldn't know how I feel. And then the queen admits that, oh, I ordered the mission that your father went on that killed him. So we got women killing people and it's just A-okay. So they bond over their ability to get people killed. If there's anything that can get a mother and daughter to bond, mutual friend murder. That's what gets moms and daughters together. And here's a side note. People have been saying that on Glimmer's hair, I always thought it was shadow, but is her hair actually literally two different colors? Is it purple underneath and then pink on top? Or is that just some wacky way of shading? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But then they reconcile over their mutual murder abilities, and they're super best friends again, and we get a hug. Cut back to Adora stomping around the woods and looking like garbage, and Catra's in the same woods too. Again, is everything within walking distance? Is every kingdom 2 miles away from each other? But they end up in the same exact forest, and of course, they're going to end up meeting up. They're both kind of wandering around the forest. And the same kind of cliche of, I'll put a mark on this tree, and then you go walking for 20 minutes and you end up at the same tree. Is it because it's magical? Is it forcing her to go in a loop? Or did she literally walk in a loop? Because she says, I walked in a straight freaking line and I ran into the same stupid rock. I'm assuming it's magical. And Catra's right there in the same spot. And we get that she depowers. She goes, oh, you want me to be like, weak? I don't know where she got that. Curls up in the ball, starts crying like a loser. And she sees that glowy light that she saw the first time when she found the sword. And boom, she's in that temple area where that giant spire obelisk thing was. And Catra so happens to be within earshot of all this and sees Adora, and she goes, ooh, like a creeper in the trees. Oh yeah, now I see ya. And that's the end of the episode. Yeah, pretty bad. It portrays a bad lesson. More characters acting like idiots. I kind of liked the scene with Catra and Shadow Weaver because they were kind of as nice as two horrible people can be to each other. That was as nice as they could be, and that was a kind of fun dynamic that it showed. Even though Catra had this is her chance to really hammer Shadow Weaver for what she did, really put her down and kick her while she's down, and she didn't. She actually was a little sympathetic, and Shadow Weaver could have took that sympathy, not as pity. I don't need your pity. She could have been like, they could have reconciled a little bit, but of course, being bad guys, they don't ever really do it. But that was a nice scene. Everything else sucked. Everything else didn't make any sense. The whole princesses breaking up because they thought being together is why they failed. No, you learned the wrong damn lesson. Glimmer hiding everything from her mom. It's a horrible lesson for children. Don't do that. If you're sick or something happened or something went wrong or you've been kidnapped and now you have PTSD, don't hide it from your parents. Don't do that. It's just a wrong lesson. I don't know what was in the comments. Let me know what was the moral lesson they were trying to teach us in this situation, because it just seemed like no. And then Enchantra just being her silly self in this situation and not realizing the circumstances of why she was left behind. They all thought you died, and they really didn't want to risk looking for a dead body. You're smart. Figure it out. The apology, that 40-minute apology to each other, that was awful. So yeah, that wraps up 10. Give it a number. What are we looking at? 4? 3.9 out of 10. Another bad episode because it teaches a bad lesson. Not only was it boring, it taught a bad lesson. So this is the Thanksgiving episode. I'm going to try to get this up as early as possible because I'm going to be busy all day. But I want to wish everyone out there a happy Thanksgiving for those who celebrate it. And be thankful for things. I'm thankful for this wonderful cartoon I get to watch. And catch you guys for the next episode tomorrow. Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, sub, and share. Also, for the most up-to-date information about the podcast, follow us on Twitter at C15 Podcast.